Do you need heavy weight? Do you need to lift the heavy weight to build muscle? Is it a smart thing to do if you're a little bit older? All right. Let me just tell you something about lifting weights, stimulating that muscle for growth, building muscle at this age. You know, it's a challenge just like it was when you were younger. You got to be intelligent in your approach, right? What's really important, maybe more important than the weight that you lift, is that good mind-muscle connection. If you're working the biceps, right, you're not just moving it from point A to point B. You really feel it as you're exploding on the way up, in this case, doing a dumbbell or barbell curl, and you control it on the way down. You don't just lift it and then let it fall. You control it on the way up and the way down. You got that mind-muscle connection. Maybe you've heard that term before. It's just that every fiber is controlling the weight, right, of what the targeted muscle group is. And that could be your chest, your back, your shoulders, whatever it is. That's by far the most important factor. You can make lightweight feel heavy with enough mind-muscle connection and you do enough reps. Right? One thing that I teach with my Man-Formation training is to be the most effective and efficient with your time. You know, training 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week if you want, and being in and out of it then less than an hour. Right? So you can get maximum benefit to reach your goals, building muscle, losing body fat, being healthy. Right? So it doesn't become this overwhelming process where you just can't sustain it because you think you've got to be in the gym so often and so long. But you got to know what you're doing in there. Mind-muscle connection while you're doing the exercises is very important. But weight is important too. Right? You can use one weight. You can do 50 reps, let's say, just for hyperbole's sake. Right? Do 50 reps with a light weight. And you can, in some cases, get the same stimulation with a lot fewer reps with more weight. But we don't want to do all of these sets, all these exercises during a workout, that each set has 50 sets. Right? It's tough to concentrate. It takes a long time. So fewer reps with more weight can make you more effective and efficient, if not more, all right, than, you know, doing more, a lot of reps. You can condense that down if you attack it with more intensity, with more weight. But how much is too much weight? Well, see, sometimes that's going to be determined. You want to really consider that element by pushing yourself. But weight, just remember something, that's relative to whoever you are, your muscle structure, how badly you want it. It's a mental thing sometimes, too. See, what I do with my Man-Formation training, I really appreciate effectiveness and efficiency. And I do know that mind-muscle connection is important, but the amount of weight you lift, if you want to condense so you can get onto those other areas of life, you got to lift a challenging weight, right? Fewer reps. See, in my Man-Formation program, there's 2 rep schemes, right? And one is 6 to 8 rep range, and that's what I use probably most of the time, 6 to 8 rep range. And some exercises are 4 to 6. In these Man-Formation workouts, there's fewer exercises, right? Fewer sets, so it demands you to get the most out of every set. It boxes you and makes you step up. It makes a game out of it, all right? Now, I can never tell you how much weight to put on the bar or what dumbbell or on the machine. That's something you got to determine what heavy weight is. But you want to challenge yourself, all right? But again, safety is the most important. In this whole this whole makeup of what it takes to have a great body at your age, to be healthy and fit, a lot of times we really overemphasize the training part. It's nice to have a game. That's what we think about most. That's what we talk about most. We think it plays a real important factor, and it does, and it's fun. But I'll tell you, that nutrition is by far the most important element. A lot of times, a lot of men, they don't think they're building the muscle, right, or they're losing the fat, and they look on their training. Really, training is a simple process of getting out there. What's going to really determine your level of health and the way that looks is going to be that nutrition. So when you think about lifting all this heavy weight and taxing yourself and maybe even hurting yourself, how hard you push it, man, if you really knew in the big picture how much of a smaller impact the training is when you really understand the big picture, there is no need to push yourself that hard and risk hurting yourself. Right? At this age, you can't do that. You can't be tearing muscles or being too hard on the joints when you're older. I mean, You don't want to ruin your momentum training, but you also, don't want to have all these injuries that distract you from producing for your family, the other important things, right? So what I do is 2-rep ranges. Now, again, like this morning, for example, and this is what inspired me to come to you to share this distinction, all right, is that I came in ready to do my chest and triceps work and train heavy. But very early in the process, one thing is I do a lot of warm-ups before I really get going. I felt a little tinge in my elbow, right? Just to create a little bit of uncertainty. Now, I was going to have this particular workout in the 4 to 6 rep range. Really focused, really challenging myself, right? I got to do that weight. I was visualizing how much weight, making a game out of it. That's what's fun about all this. But again, at this age, you got to be smart in your approach. That's why I have the option to lightening up and go to the 6 to 8 rep range during this man formation training that's specifically designed for older men. I have that option so I don't have to just force my way through and be dumb about it like maybe you would have done when you were younger. And I can still feel that I win. 4 to 6 heavier, 6 to 8, a little bit lighter, a little bit fewer, more reps, more feel. I still win either way. So I don't have to walk away defeated. It has that flexibility, right? And that's going to be a big factor in how you feel about the workout, your level of confidence, your momentum, right? And if you're winning or losing, but that weight, that most important thing, that weight along with the form, feeling, and execution gives you options. Now, there is one challenge. When you give yourself the easier way, the lighter way, we always sometimes tend to take the path of least resistance. But like I said, in the bigger picture of things, you still win, even with the 6 to 8 reps, and you do it this safely. Stimulate the muscle, get the heck out of there, eat right, go on to your busy, productive life. So make sure you visit my skiplacour.com website. Check out the special section for older men. Also, make sure you sign up for my email list. Get on all of my social media platforms, and send me an email at skiplacour.com. I've got all these ways to help you if you want to take our relationship. When you're a little bit older, we got more time behind us than we do in front of us. We got to take on the day. Our working out, our eating, our health, our fitness. We got more time behind us than in front of us. We got to seize this day with a sense of urgency, right? In addition, we got to produce at work, our business. We got to love, connect with our family, be the total package. Right, let's do it with a sense of urgency. So have a great day. Have an outstanding day. Have an awesome day. Think big and think bigger than getting bigger.